Okay, so we're gonna go back to our agenda and,
So Michelle, if you could, before you go back to your agenda, if you could have somebody make a motion as is outlined in the email.
yes, that's
For
what
the
I was going to do.
officer's
Yeah,
certificate of
meaning
board
we're going back to the
authorization.
item that's about, that we just talked about. Okay, so we'd like to make a motion about the officer's certificate of board authorization to the AG's office.
I will.
Thank you,
I
Kate.
move that the trustees support the Cypre petition filing to the Attorney General's office regarding the principle of the W. Spear Expendable Trust. Donna, does that motion meet the case from your perspective?
And further to seek approval to use or transfer the assets to a fund for construction of the new
Yes.
public library.
Yes, can you add that? Okay,
And further to seek to transfer the funds. I'm sorry, I don't have the email in front of me.
That's
Okay.
right. Transfer the assets
The assets
to the fund for construction of a new public library.
to the fund for the construction of a new public library. Thank you so much, Donna.
can I just ask for one more clarification? We want to say that just the principal? Do we?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Right, anybody want to make a second on that?
Second.
Okay, Tim second. Okay, we're gonna go roll call. Brad,
Yes. Aye.
Tim,
Yes.
Mel,
Yes.
Kate,
Yes,
Michelle, yes.
Right, so do you have a clerk?
Yes, but Mel is.
All right, so Mel, you're just gonna take that certificate, that statement in the email, put it on Shutesbury letterhead or library letterhead. I don't know if you have library letterhead. And then date it and sign it as clerk of the town of Shutesbury Library Trustees.
Okay.
And then,
So
get
can
me
we
the
just make
original
up-
document. What? I'm
If we
sorry.
just make up letterhead, I usually just make up letterhead.
That's fine, yeah.
Okay. All right.
And then just get me the original so I can include it with the petition.
Got it.
Thank you. Thank you
And
all.
then you just
very
need to
much.
let Kate and I know after we have our officers vote for the new fiscal year, if we're still co-chairs, when to come sign.
All
yeah.
right.
We'll let you know who the officers are, Donald.
Yeah,
All right, so yeah, as soon as I'll get the petition done. And then get it to all of you for signatures. We'll
Okay.
attach the financial statement. The other documents have already been attached, and we'll attach the certificate of authorization, and it should be ready to go.
Thank you, Donna.
okay, thank
You're
you.
very welcome.
Thank you.
Very helpful.
All right,
Okay.
night, everybody.
Good night. All right, we'll resume at the top of our agenda, which was to approve the minutes from June. I only found a couple minor things. I'm trying to remember because I don't have them in front of me.
Could you give me just 1 second, Michelle? I just have
Sure.
to grab
Sure.
the meeting
Yep.
minutes.
Yep.
Okay.
I only saw a couple things I can't remember. One of them was right near the beginning. It was just like adding a D to a word at the end of the sentence. Do you remember? Did you get that from me with the comments?
I didn't have a chance to look at
Okay.
your for the meeting.
Okay. Well, I bet Brad found the same thing.
So
No,
I
I
was
found
at
it,
that meeting.
which is
and
that vague is
I was
spelled with a
abstaining.
Q instead of a G in item 2.
That-
You got that already?
yeah, I think I didn't get a chance to print them out, so I don't have them in front of me. It was very minor. It was just changing
Millions
the
have
tense
to
of
be
the word.
shaved off.
Shaved, that was it.
The
Shaved,
building
add a
committee
D.
update.
Yeah,
Those
add
were
a
the
D.
2 tiny things I found.
Yes, that was one of them.
Sorry, where is that?
Okay, so we're talking now about the building committee update, paragraph 2, end of the second sentence. Millions have to be shaved instead of shaved
yeah.
off. Got it?
Yep.
You rock.
Okay, there was one other part Was it part of the building committee or the library director report? There was something, I just thought maybe you should put that it was the MN Spear. I wish I had it in front of me. I'm sorry, I don't have it. It was just a matter of clarifying whatever people were talking about. Sorry. It's minor. It's just that I wanted to make sure it was clear. That was all. Anybody else have any? No. Okay, why don't we just go ahead and somebody want to make a motion to approve the minutes as amended?
I
Yeah,
make a to approve the minutes as amended.
Okay, thank you, Tim. Someone want to second it? I guess it has to be you, Kate. I think, but were you not there, Brad? Brad wasn't there. That's right.
I did second, yeah.
Oh, sorry, I missed that. Okay. Well, all in favor, we'll do a roll call vote. Brad wasn't there. Can you vote? You probably can't. Tim?
I would
Yes.
abstain.
Okay. Mel?
Yes.
Kate?
Yes.
Michelle? Yes. Okay. Good. All right. Should we do our trustees officers next? That was the next thing on the agenda. I would like to nominate Mel to continue as secretary. She's willing to, because she's doing an awesome job.
I second if you're willing to. You're fantastic.
I am willing to.
Great.
Yeah, happy to help.
Okay. Should we take a vote then?
God.
I know. Should we take a vote?
Really?
Brad?
Aye.
Okay. Tim?
Yes.
Kate?
Yes.
Michelle? Yes. Okay. Good. Mel is still the secretary. Unless you prefer a clerk, although we've always called it a secretary. Anyway,
Doesn't matter. Fine.
I'd like to nominate Brad to continue as the treasurer, if he's willing.
I'm willing.
Anybody want a second? Did somebody second it?
I
Did.
second.
Okay,
Both
thank
did.
you.
I think you're a shoo-in, Brad.
Okay, Michelle, yes. Tim,
Yes.
Kate,
Yes.
Mel,
Yes.
and does Brad vote for himself? I don't know how that works. No, okay. All right, you're in. Okay. So we have the chair and co-chair elect.
I move that we vote Michelle and Kate as co-chairs for another term.
I second it.
You good to accept, Michelle?
Yeah, that's fine. Fine with me.
As we hold hands and jump together, I'm good.
Yes, yes.
My God, thank God.
All right, shall we do a roll call? Okay, Brad,
Yes.
Michelle and Kate as co-chairs. Okay, Tim,
Yes.
Mel.
Yes.
Okay, we can continue. Okay, now we can move on to other things.
I think I appreciate everybody being willing to stay. Oh, wait, we usually also appreciate and vote on the representative to the Friends.
That is true.
And we got this awesome report from Tim tonight that gave us a lot of really valuable information. So Tim, may I nominate you please to continue your good work as representative to the Friends with gratitude? Thank you.
Sure. Sure.
Yes, yes, and thank you for that report. That was really helpful. I'm glad I got to read that before tonight. Nice to know what's up with the Friends and some great ideas. Okay. Oh, so do we have, that's not an official position, is it? Do we have to vote on it?
I can never remember.
Yeah. I don't
You know
either.
what? Then just vote on it anyway, I would
Okay,
say.
so we'll call it the liaison to the Friends. Friends, I think that's what we've called it before. So did somebody, you made the nomination, I'll second it. And now we'll take the roll call. Brad,
Yes.
Michelle, yes. Mel,
Yes.
Kate,
Yes.
thank you, Tim. You're nominated to
It
continue.
was hard for anybody to compete with that report he sent out today.
Oh, it was really helpful. I loved reading it because there were a lot of great ideas in there.
It was interesting
Very
reading
exciting.
somebody's interpretation of the meeting. So it was good. You know,
Yeah.
I was there, so I knew what happened, but it was interesting reading somebody else's.
Okay, so we're running out of time, so I don't know what we want to jump on. We can just move the public comment policy till next time. Although I did take out that one statement, and based on what Rita Farrell told me, that the Judicial Supreme Court of Massachusetts decided, and that was number 7. So I don't know if we need to discuss it anymore or just look at it, but we have that, we have the library director report and a building committee report left.
Can I make a request?
Yep.
The public comment is something that we have talked about.
Mhm.
It's something that I think, you've drafted with care, and
Mhm.
I think it's something that, given what we've just taken a vote on,
Mhm.
we might need.
I think you're right.
I ask that we, if friends don't object, or trustees rather, 'cause I'm such a Quaker. If trustees don't object, could we go ahead and move on that tonight? If people don't feel, I guess what I would ask, Michelle, is if anyone doesn't feel prepared to take a vote on that, it's fine to say so. But if no objection, then I would like to see us go ahead and move on that.
Yeah, the one I took out was the one that some of you had questions about anyway. So I sent the email to Rita Farrell to ask her, if someone's behavior is deemed inappropriate, can you sort of shut them off? And she said, oh, that's a really good question. So she looked it up. And so then she sent me what the answer was. I said, okay, I'll take that out. It could be considered denying them freedom of speech. So I took it out, and that's the only thing that changed.
You want me to share it?
Sure, that would be great. And I think you're right. We kind of do need this. I wish that we had thought of it sooner, because it might have made the whole fall a lot easier, but
Better
live
late than
and
never.
learn, right?
Better late than never.
Yeah.
So I would just recommend this as a tiny thing, MN Spear Memorial Library Board of Trustees, or, maybe just one line, MN Spear Memorial Library, and then Board of Library Trustees.
Okay. Okay. All right. Can you guys see it, or do you need me to read it?
No, I can see it, and I've read.
Okay. Okay. How about Brad? You have a question or comment?
Let me find the line. 5, each speaker will have only one turn to speak. I think we looked at that earlier. I was suggesting last time around that we take the only out. The part that
Oh, you're right.
worries me
Right.
about that is that we
Right.
occasionally give people a second chance.
Yeah, and that's the discretion of the chair. So yeah. Okay, I'll take that out. I forgot about that. Thank you. Anything else? If not, maybe someone could make a motion to accept the policy for public comment, or do you want to call it the public comment policy?
I move we accept the public comment policy.
Okay.
I second it.
Okay, we'll do a roll call. Brad?
Aye, yes.
Okay. Michelle? Aye. Yes. Tim?
Yes.
Mel?
Yes.
And Kate?
Yes.
Great. Okay, we have a new policy to post.
Woo.
If
I
you
will
send me
clean-
the final draft,
clean it
I'll
up.
post it.
Yes, I'll
Okay.
clean it up and send it,
Okay.
email
You
it to
could
you.
send it to me too, because they'll have to put it in the, what's it,
Yep. We'll do that. Okay, so then the other thing we had to do, are there any questions or anything that you wanted to highlight from your very thorough director's report, Mary Ann? That was really helpful.
Yes.
Because we do have to sign the annual report. Do we have to vote on that? I can never remember.
I don't think you usually vote on it. I think usually what's happening is I'm finishing that the day before it's due, and so I've gotten better at keeping the data all year long, so that I don't have to go searching for all of it. And I was procrastinating on doing something else, and so I did that report instead.
Okay. Well, I felt that it would be really helpful
Okay.
for other people to see what what
Right.
you're sharing in the annual
So,
report. So thank
yeah.
you for summarizing that.
Right.
For
So I
folks.
sent it to everybody, and basically we're still in the library business. We're still circulating lots of things. we are still having lots of programs and lots of people are coming. And we're still circulating lots of books and people are reading a lot of books on Libby. And one thing we're circulating less of, although not less than last year, but less than at its height. So there was a time when we would circulate 10,000 DVDs a year. And the last couple of years, it's been about 2,500. And you'll see, I was surprised. So we circulated around 10,000 children's books, and
that's great.
and there was a year, when we circulated 11,000 children's books, but it was when all the libraries were closed and we were open, and I was filling bags of books for the kids. And I was curious about what that would look like when they were choosing their own, and they're choosing a lot of books. So, so, so I can look at that data and I can say, where do I need to focus our tiny little bit of space? If I'm making decisions about our tiny little bit of space that we have now, where do I need to focus, like spending for my materials purchases, and then, dedicating the space that we have. So actually since I did that report, I've continued to procrastinate by doing a big weeding project of DVDs that haven't gone out in 3 years, and making some more room for kids' graphic novels, because those kids come in and they take 20 graphic novels and they go home and they read them all. And then they come back the next week and they take 20 more graphic novels. And I don't have an inch of space to put a new one. And I have to keep buying them.
Mhm.
So anyway, so we've done that. So that's, those are the highlights. I think we're slowly doing in-person children's programs. We haven't done a lot indoors except for story time. And town hall really hasn't, that program space that I used to make so much use out of just isn't, it's no longer really a space that is easy to use. But for a whole lot of different reasons. So, I mean, it's not that I can never use it, but it's not as easy to use. It's just, town hall is kind of discombobulated because they have their own space issues.
Mhm.
So, so I'm thinking about what I'll do for family programming other than story time. We have a plan for that over the school year, because I would like to, offer some opportunities for families to gather outside of, at the library. And the AC has been so generous and welcoming. But I don't have anything planned quite yet. But I will. So anyway.
Sorry, I just realized I looked at the agenda. You revised the kayak use policy. Do we need to approve that?
Oh,
probably?
yes. Yeah. So I
Yeah,
sent.
I read it. Yeah.
Yeah. And so they've had people, and I'm not even really clear that it's library kayak users, but because they're just saying visitors, but I think that we can be accommodating and neighborly and just add that language in as long as you all agree.
Mm-hmm.
I read what you wrote. I thought it was fine, and I move that we approve the new policy.
Second,
Okay. All right, we'll do a roll call. Brad,
Aye.
Michelle, yes. Tim,
Yes.
Mel,
Yes.
and Kate.
yes.
Okay. All right, new kayak use policy. Great. Anything else, or should we move on to building committee report?
Well, so can I
Go ahead if you have one.
can I make a funding request?
Oh, sure.
As we were discussing before, so I would like to make a request that the trustees approve spending between $3,500 and $4,000, and I'll email you the exact amount tomorrow for our CW Mars membership for this year out of the Spear Expendable Trust.
I think that makes total sense. Go ahead, Brad.
I would just say up to 4,000.
Okay,
Yeah, that's true. That's a good way to put it.
yes, that is a good way to put it.
I
Okay,
move that the trustees authorize using up to $4,000 for covering CWMR's expenditures.
Someone like to second that?
Funds to come from the expendable trust.
Second.
I second.
Okay. All right, we'll do roll call. Brad,
Aye.
Michelle, yes. Tim,
Yes.
Mel,
Yes.
and Kate.
Yes.
Okay, there you go.
okay, and then can I ask for, so for programming, do you want specific programs or do you want a dollar amount and a target audience?
Yeah, I think we need a specific dollar amount.
Yeah, we do need a dollar amount.
Okay, yes, a dollar amount is easy. Do you want the name of the program? Or like, so I have 8 different programs that I'd like to ask if you would approve funding for. Do you want the list of programs or do you want just the total?
I
My,
would suggest having a description, but I don't feel the need to itemize the individual programs. A description that says programs that cover, a range of stuff.
Okay,
Very
okay.
generic.
alrighty. So can I just do some quick math? Is that okay?
Sure.
All
Did you
right.
have a comment, Kate?
I was just gonna agree with what, or say the same thing that Brad just said, so we're good.
Mhm. Okay.
All right, so let's see. And okay, so I would like to request that the trustees approve $2,350 for programming. This is the rest of the summer reading program. So 2 programs at the Shutesbury Athletic Club that we already have planned. One is tomorrow night and one is next week. So those are family programs. And then a series of craft programs. So Rory has been doing a series of fiber arts programs. So this money would cover the fiber arts programs that we have planned through September. And then it would cover a basket making workshop and 2 box making workshops that I also have planned. So arts and crafts programs and a couple of family programs. $2,350.
I move that the trustees authorize expenditure of up to $2,500 from the expendable trust for summer reading, family, and arts programs, or upcoming reading, family, and arts programs.
Someone like to second that?
A second.
Okay. All right, we'll do a roll call. Brad,
Aye.
Michelle, yes. Tim,
Yes.
Kate,
Yes.
and Mel.
Yes.
I've been calling on you first, and usually your mic isn't on. So I was like, okay, I'll do it the reverse. Then she knows she's coming last. Thank you.
I would add that I would expect you would come back with another request when we have more programs later this year.
Yes, or when I'll do some calculating, but thank you. Yes, I do expect
Okay.
the need to come back. Okay.
I
Thank-
would suggest a standing agenda item of care and maintenance expenses.
Yeah, makes sense. Then you can just bring it each month. All right, all we have left, I think, is building committee report. Was that it, Marianne?
Yep.
Okay. All right, building committee report from Brad.
I don't have much to say because as with the last meeting, I've missed a number of the building committee meetings. I've been out of town.
Okay.
I can say that I feel like a lot of progress is being made and trying to keep up with the stuff that comes through to me. It looks impressive. I like the redesign and the work, but Marianne will know more of the details. So I'll
Okay.
avoid.
Okay. All right. So I think you all knew that we've done a lot of work to reduce the costs, the overall cost of the project. A week and a half ago, we finalized the revised schematic design. Have I sent that to all of you?
No, I didn't
Okay,
see it.
I'll send you the pricing package.
Yeah.
And and so that pricing package has been sent off to the cost estimator, and the cost estimate is due the middle of this week. And then I imagine the architects will sit on it for a couple of days. They get it and sort of read through it and digest it. And then they'll be in touch with us. The building committee has a meeting next Tuesday to discuss the new cost estimate. So, but, you know, we're very hopeful that, that the changes will, yeah, I mean, there will be a significant reduction in the cost. There's no way, but we're just hoping that it will be closer to the range that we feel comfortable with. So the building is 100 feet closer to the road. There's less site work proposed. It's a different type of construction. So instead of, you know, large industrial style beams, either mass timber or steel, it's going to be built more like a big house would be built. So, you know, so a type of construction that more contractors are equipped to manage. So one of the problems that they've been having is getting contractors to bid on jobs, both the OPM and the MBLC. So that should reduce the overall cost. And, you know, the building is smaller. It's just under 5,000 square feet instead of, you know, closer to 6,200 square feet. And it's still going to be, you know, what the architects, one thing that Matt Odin said was, you know, they shrunk everything, but they kept all the good stuff, right? So there isn't a big spacious lobby and there aren't kind of like wide open spaces, but there's, you know, plenty of room. The space that we called for the collections is all still there. There's still a meeting room that seats 50 people. You know, there's still a small study room. The small study room is smaller. We had hoped to be able to turn that into kind of a small meeting room, but it's really going to be a small study room that 4 people could sit in comfortably. There's still, the teen room is still going to be the same size that we specified. The staff workroom is a little bit smaller, but that's okay. Instead of a kitchenette, there's just going to be kind of like a bump out area that maybe has a closet door that can slide close on one wall of the meeting room. So we're just, you know, we're hopeful. We're keeping our fingers crossed. It's going to have a gable roof that is that has an east and a west side, and it's going to have a 63,000 kilowatt hour solar array, which will adequately power the building. So we'll make all of our own power. So, yep. So next Tuesday, we should have a meeting. And if I have information and time to summarize it.
We're losing your voice for some reason, Marianne.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So if you have a time, what?
So if I have time, if I get information before next Tuesday's meeting and I have time to send it out to you, I will.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
And is Tuesday's meeting of the design group or the larger
Big group,
Okay,
the larger group.
I have to make sure it's on my calendar.
Okay.
Okay. We have anything else? No? I guess we just need to set up time for August.
I assume we're looking at Mondays. I'm pretty much open until the end of the month. And then I get
Yeah.
crazy.
Me too at this point. I don't have anything. Anybody have any conflicts in August that we need to work around?
I do. I would rather not meet on the 14th. I'm out of town in a different
Okay.
time zone.
Okay. The 21st work for people? Yeah,
Yeah, I think so.
okay,
Anyway.
all right. Why don't we do the 21st then?
Did you want to have a meeting before that regarding Savannah, or do that by email?
Oh, that's a good point. Well, why don't you let us know what you hear, if what the family would like?
I do wonder whether that's an administrative matter, essentially, that is not really, it's not really part of our proper duties as trustees.
mhm,
I would certainly be happy to conduct that correspondence publicly if necessary, or share the correspondence during a meeting or something like that. But I don't really see an open meeting law barrier to our appreciating the long service of our dear friend. I'm sorry.
yeah,
I
I
could
agree.
with the town clerk on it if necessary, just because we just dealt with a violation, but I don't see that as I see that as a friendship function rather than an official one.
yeah,
I
That's
agree,
true.
Kate.
yeah, I'd like to do something, whether it's, buy a bench and put her name on it, I don't know, something, but, let us know what the family would like to do. Kate, you sound like, you're very upset.
I'm sorry. It's I just,
It's okay. I totally get it. When they asked me if I wanted, when I was dropping off the flowers, if I wanted to go talk with her, I actually said to them, I've had too much loss in my life lately, and I just couldn't. I knew I'd cry, so I didn't.
yeah.
So I get it. Yeah.
Well, I would love to see if, while we're talking about plaques, if one things we could discuss is tributes to trustees.
Mhm.
We've had really dedicated, we've lost, I believe, two since just in my tenure, Michelle, which is shorter than yours. Um, and so I wondered if we could just talk about that, like a plaque, like just a board of honor or something.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
If
Yeah, we
the
can-
friends could make their nominations, if trustees could make theirs,
mhm.
and it could include, the memory of Mr. Spear. It doesn't have to be a special, or the Spear family. It doesn't have to be like a separate thing. It could be lots of places have something like this.
Mhm. You're absolutely right. I do. Yeah, I like that idea. Okay. Well, let us know when you hear something more, Marianne. That'd be great to let us know.
Yeah, I'll let you know. I'm sure there'll be a memorial service or,
Mhm.
and I just haven't seen anything yet. But it's only been a couple of days.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I did go and see Savannah. And I gave her an update about I walked in and she said, okay, so tell me what's going on. And I had to tell her everything. And she, you know, I was really glad that I did that. So,
Thank you.
yeah,
Yeah. Thanks for
so
doing that.
she knew, she knows that we're waiting for the cost estimate, and she knows about the good work that the committee has done to reduce the space. So
When were you there, Marianne?
I went, not this past Saturday, the Saturday before I went, and then I went again on Wednesday. And so when I was there on the Saturday, we had a lovely, lively visit.
Mhm.
And she was very happy and animated and asked a lot of questions. And then on Wednesday, she was mostly asleep while I was there. So I could say goodbye to her. And she did, when I was there on the Saturday, she looked over at the flowers and she said, oh, and I got flowers, so she knew they were there. She
Mhm.
was touched by them. So,
That's good.
yeah, so. but she wants us to build this library. So,
Then
Yeah.
damn it, we will.
We will,
Yeah.
we all want
Let's
that.
go.
yes, yes. Yes.
Okay, well, thank you, everyone. I think we can adjourn then. We have our date for the next month and yeah, each month you just I will start adding to the agenda the part
Okay.
about,
Yes.
what did you call it,
Yes.
Kate? We're just gonna like.
Care and maintenance.
Care and
Yes.
maintenance, yes.
Yes. Yes. Good. Okay.
Okay,
All
thank
right,
you,
thank you.
everyone. Good
Thank
night.
Okay, good night.
Night.